All right, in this lesson, we're going to focus on comparing numbers. We're going to be looking at 4 different mathematical ways to compare things, compare quantities. The first one we'll look at is ratios. In general, we use ratios when we compare a part to a part. So for example, in this picture below, if there are 2 boys and 3 girls, we write the ratio of girls to boys as 3 to 2. And you can write that in 3 ways. You can write it as 3:2. You can write it in the with the word 3, the word 2, and then 2. Or you can write it as the fraction 3/2. And it's important that we do the 3 first and the 2 second because we ask for the ratio of girls to boys. A second way that we compare numbers a lot is by using fractions. And typically when we use fractions, we compare a part to a whole or to a total. So again, in this picture below, the total is that there are 5 kids. 5 people here. So 2 are boys and 3 are girls. That means 2 out of 5, or 2/5 of the students, are boys. And in the same manner, 3/5 of the students are girls. It is sometimes okay to use a fraction when you're dealing with parts. Like we could say there's 2/3 as many boys as girls, but it's typical to go with the total. Percents always compare out of 100, and they're a really nice general way to compare things because it gives you a baseline where anyone can compare it to anything. So if we have 2 boys and 3 girls, just like we found out on the last slide, 2/5 of the students are boys. So if we're trying to do out of 100 people, we could scale that up. Do 5 times 20 is 100. So 2 times 20 is 40. And we could find out that 40% of the students are boys. And in a very similar manner, we could figure out that 60% of the students are girls. The final way we'll look at today is differences. And differences always tell you how much more of one quantity there is than another. So you're subtracting them. So we know there's 3 girls and 2 boys. If we do 3 minus 2, we find out there's 1 more girl than boy. All right, we are going to look at just a general type question that could very typically come up on your quizzes. So in a survey, 84 people indicated that they preferred Coca-Cola and 116 people indicated that they preferred Pepsi. You're going to write 4 statements to compare drink preferences, and we're going to use each type of these ideas, ratio, fraction, percent, difference, once. So when you're asked to write a statement, it's really important that you write a complete sentence and be very clear and detailed with it. So ratios, if there are 84 people that liked Coke and 116 people preferred Pepsi, it's very common to reduce that ratio. They can both get divided by 4, so that will be 21 to 29. When you're writing a statement, you want to be clear about your order. So something like the ratio of people who prefer Coke Coca-Cola to those who prefer Pepsi is, and then you could say it, 21 to 29. So you've got your full sentence, it's clear, and it's written out. Okay, if we do a fraction, again, you would have to figure out the total people. So there's 84 people that like Coke and 116 that like Pepsi. So that's 200 total people. And when you're doing that, so the fraction, I might figure out like 84 out of 200, and again, reduce that 21/50ths. Or you could do 116 out of 200 and reduce that to 29/50ths. And you're asked to write a statement, so you can write a statement with either one. I might say 21/50ths of all surveyed prefer Coca-Cola. That would be a good sentence on this. All right, it would be great if you try to come up with a sentence for these two by your own and then just come back and see after you pause the video if I agreed and wrote the same one or different than you. Okay, so for percent, I might do again that I've already figured out, so like 21/50ths. If I scale that up to 42 out of 100, I know that 42% of people prefer Coca-Cola. I could say 42% of people surveyed. You could also have written 58% of people surveyed prefer Pepsi. That would be good as well. And then the last one, difference. So with this one, you got to subtract, and you need to do it with the original numbers. So 116 minus 84 equals 32. So 32 more people prefer Pepsi than prefer Coke. All right, so these are the kind of statements that you'll be writing. Hope that you can figure out the difference between each of the types.